Hey, what's up guys, I'm Zabulus and this is my 5th attempt to making this video because my recording program is a piece of shit. But anyway, this is the top secret overpowered build of Stonethorn. So I've made a health blade recently for Greymore patch, and since there's some changes to the sets and some improvements that I thought of making, I've made this build. So let's just get into the stats first. We are running our race as an orc. This is the best because it gives us really stuff that we really need: max stam, weapon damage, speed, max health, and a little bit of a hot. So best race for this in my opinion. As you can see, my magicka just went down. What the fuck? Okay, this should be 17k. So 17k magicka, really nice. Health. This is like 46 or 47k in PvP, so this is higher than before. Attributes are all in health, by the way. Stamina 21k. Well, we're pretty used to having a low stam on this sort of build. Magicka recovery pretty low, but doesn't matter, we still can keep it up through the fight, so it's fine. Health recovery pretty low, but if you use the gold tri-food you would get it at about 1k fully buffed. Stam regen is 1.8k fully buffed with a potion and rally. Weapon damage 2.8k. This is pretty low, but this build still works really good. You'll see why later. Spell critical is 31%. This is important because our biggest heal is a magicka heal, and you know, having a nice crit chance on that will give us just bigger heals. Weapon critical really high, that's gonna be important. And the resistances are fairly low because we're in medium armor, but there they are. We still survive really well even with those, so it doesn't matter too much. Crit resist 2.5k, pretty nice. Our boon is the Lord. This is pretty flexible. I'm not quite decided yet on this. You could try with the Steed or the Warrior if you want more damage. Maybe even the Tower, I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted more max health, so I went with the Lord. And I'm running tri-food, but yeah, you want the gold tri-food, and if you're poorer, you want this one, the purple tri-food. Let's get into the skills real quick. I'm running Ambush there on the first skill, because it gives minor vulnerability, 8% extra damage on your target for 10 seconds, and it's a gap closer, so it's really nice. That's gonna be our gap closer. I used to run Quick Cloak there, but the problem on Orc is that I'm already so fast that I don't even feel so much of a difference from the major expedition this gives, so it's you can just drop that shit. You're already so fast as an Orc in medium armor. Then Rending Slashes is going to be our spammable. This hits really hard. It's about, like, it doesn't show right now, but it's about an 8k tooltip on a build with these stats, so that's just pretty insane. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes into the buffing of this skill, and even though the tooltip may look low now, it's about 8k spammable, so really good, and it's very cheap as well. We're gonna be weaving this with heavy attacks a lot, and yeah, that does a lot of damage. Camo Hunter, Minor Berserk, Crit, Stealth Detect, it's so useful, and 3% weapon damage from Fire's Guild. Resolving Vigor, so our buff tooltip on this is not so bad, I feel like. I mean, 12k over 4 seconds is still high, and yeah, it's really gonna add up when you need it with your biggest heal, your Cloak. This is why we have so much max health, is to make this skill heal us for a fuck ton, and it works great. This is not the fully buffed tooltip. In PvP we will have more health, so you know, it's about, I think, 3k tooltip or something. Could be wrong, but it's still really high. Huge heal, and minor protection, insane for making us tanky. Then we have the Magicka Morph of Incap. I chose to run this because of the major defile that it has. You know, you have so much pressure with the rest of your damage and your build that adding a major defile buffed by your CP on them, like, you're just gonna melt them. It's so good, and the cost is low on this ult. The 20% damage increase applies to your procs, so like This is so good. Um, Leeching strikes for sustain, obviously, and it's also a heal over time. As you can see, every time you light or heavy attack, you heal for 1.6k, so it's a nice hut that adds up to your survivability. Then we got Piercing Mark. This is insane, and you have to run this, I'm sorry, but like 5k extra penetration for your physical damage and spell damage, because you have one proc set that is gonna do fire damage, so having, you know, extra 5k penetration of both is just so insane for all of your damage, all of your procs. Like, this is insane. And it lasts very long, it costs nothing. You can detect enemies when they use cloak, so enemy Nightblades are gonna get fucked when you use this. It's just so fucking good, you have to run it. Then we got Deep Thoughts. I was gonna run Relentless Focus until I realized that, you know, the bow damage doesn't hit hard and this doesn't give you extra 10% mitigation anymore. So definitely Deep Thoughts is way better. Like, because it gives you major protection when it's active and it restores health and resources, you just gotta, you know, make sure you're CC immune. Like, you just got CC'd, you break free, you put your HUDs up, and then you can just go in meditation and you're so protected, and you know, you get your health back up, your resources back up. This works really well with this build. Definitely a really useful skill. Shadow Image, I always run this on Nightblade nowadays, you know, to kite. Open world, this is so good, and 1v1 it applies minor maim, so definitely gotta run that. This is one of your two Magicka skills. And now we got Rally. Obviously you need the Major Brutality, the Minor Endurance is nice, and the Burst Heal. Even with those stats right there, those shitty looking stats, the Burst Heal is still great. It actually still heals for a lot, sorry. So definitely worth it to run in my opinion. Now this ult is pretty flexible. I originally I was thinking about running Temporal Guard first, but then I realized we already have mana protection from Cloak, so I like Dawnbreaker as an AoE stun against groups of players, you know, as an AoE burst as well, so it's pretty useful, it's undodgeable, the dot is nice, but yeah, if you wanted to, you could run one of the Nightblade ults, one of the defensive ults, because here I'm running two offensive ults. You could run a defensive one here. It's up to you. Dawnbreaker is just useful in some situations. Let's get into the consumables real quick. You just want the dry food here, the gold dry food, but here I'm running the purple one because I'm too lazy to get it on the PTS, but whatever. And for the potions, definitely just tripods. You don't really need anything else than this. You got the crit already, you got the stealth detect from your skills. Yeah, just go tripod. And finally, let's get into the sets and yeah, what we're running. So this is where the most changes have happened from the last build. So we are now running 5 medium defiler on the body. Every single piece is divines with a health enchant on the body. Every single piece is divines with a health enchant. So we have 5 medium defiler. This set is gonna give you nice weapon damage and crit, and it got buffed now. It hits your target a lot more often and it's a lot more reliable than it used to be. The damage got buffed, the cooldown is only 5 seconds, and it's a stun. It's an AoE stun as well, and it's undodgeable, so this is going to be your CC. Whenever you crit, it's gonna proc and it's gonna stun your opponent and do good damage. So that's why we're not running any CC, except Dawnbreaker of course, on our bars, because this will do the CCing part for us. And then I'm running 1 heavy, more of the Infernal, of course Divine's health, as all of our pieces. 1 heavy there and 1 light, so that's 5 medium, 1 light, 1 heavy. This set is amazing. I can't believe I didn't run this on my previous health build, because it's just so much pressure on your opponent. And since you already got 5k penetration from this skill in the spell damage, this will hit really hard, even on a stamina build. So So yeah, again, 5 medium, 1 heavy, 1 light, full divines, full health enchanted. Then we are running something else than Venomous. We definitely dropped Venomous because it got nerfed, and I think this is a lot better actually. We got Unfathomable Darkness, so it's only on the back bar. What this does is, when you deal damage, you call a Murder of Crows around you for 12 seconds. Every 3 seconds it will do damage to the closest enemy within 12 meters of you, dealing 8k damage with a downtime of 3 seconds. So the uptime on this is just fantastic. Whenever it's down, you just light attack and it procs. You know, you light attack on your back bar and it's just gonna proc again. And if you think this is a downgrade from Venomous, trust me, when it comes to single target, it's not. Because I calculated it, mathematically this deals more damage than Venomous did in single target. So don't feel bad for dropping Venomous even if it's nerfed, because this is a lot better, at least single target. So yeah, it is a marginally more damage than Venomous. And if you're worried about, you know, the crows not hitting the right target, if you're fighting several people, the crows will hit the closest enemy to you. So all you gotta do is stay close to your kill target and the crows will hit them, basically. So I'm running an axe there, a two-handed axe with precise trait. You can kinda run whatever you want, it doesn't matter too much, you know. Nernhoned, a sword, a maul, sharpen, defending. Really doesn't matter too much. I just like precise for the extra chance to do a magic, a crit heal with my cloak on my back bar, you know. Or a rally crit heal. Crit heals are the shit. And we're running double dot poisons on there, because they hit hard. The rest of this set is here on the jewelry. We have 3 robust with stamina recovery. I haven't done a lot of testing on this because I'm already pretty satisfied with where the stamina is and the stamina regen. So I don't really want to touch on that. I think it's just fine as it is. We have just enough damage thanks to this stamina in the robust traits and just enough recovery thanks to the glyphs. So I would advise just keeping it like this. So again, 3 robust and stamina recovery. Now we are running on our front bar what the fuck are those noises, dude? Nice, for my build video. What a shit day, oh my god. Whatever, so we're running Masters Perfected Axes. 2 of those on the front bar. Both precise and both axes with double dot poison. This is what makes your twin slashes into a good, decent spammable that doesn't scale too much with your weapon damage, because yeah, Master's weapon gives you some extra flat damage that doesn't depend on your weapon damage, so that's really good. And the precise there to increase your crit again to get to this whopping 63% crit. That's just gonna proc your Defiler all the time, and yeah. Also gonna make you crit heals. You definitely want the double dot poison on this bar. If you wanna drop it on the back bar, that's kind of fine, because it doesn't proc a whole lot, but on the front bar you definitely want it, because you're gonna be weaving heavy attacks with rending slashes, and that's just so many chances to proc your poison that you have to run it. It's too good to miss out on. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything. I'm gonna go into the CP and then we will do, we will explain the playstyle a little bit. Okay, so 1 into Siphoner to prevent cleansing, 56 into Warlord to reduce the cost of break free, 19 into Sprinter for the cost of sprint. We're in medium armor, sprinting is really nice, and we're an orc, so we just sprint a lot. 56 into Mooncalf for the stamina regen, 43 in tenacity. We're gonna be weaving a fuck ton of heavy attacks on this because we can, so just why not increase the resource return. It's not really worth it to put any points into Arcanist and healthy either, so yeah. I'm at 39 into Bifal to get a 36% tooltip on there. I'm not sure which is the best scaling point on this, but yeah, you could do a lot more testing than me. It's sort of min-maxed, but yeah. I definitely advise putting points in there though. It's really good with the Magicine cap. And then 56 into tumbling for the reduced cost of roll dodge. I'm not running any points into block cost because I don't really block a whole lot, like at all in medium armor. I just roll dodge most of the time, and if I need to block, I will block for like barely 2 seconds, so it's not huge. Here you definitely want to put these points in here, 32 into blessed, so that you can get the spell precision perk, which is gonna affect your magicka heal, your cloak heal, and this is huge. Definitely worth it to put the points here, so you should do that. 66 into Master at Arms for your direct damage. It's not so much worth it to put points into Physical Weapon Expert because your heavy attacks and light attacks don't hit that hard. So yeah, I think it's better to put points into those trees here. We got 44 in Precise Strikes for the crit to get to about 17%. That's, you know, good point. Sweet spot to be at. And then yeah, 64 in Mighty, 64 in Piercing, so you get a fuck ton of penetration here. This is gonna increase your damage by so much. And same here, basically. It scales well at those points, so I really advise going with this structure. Now, in the defensive tree, it's pretty simple, like pretty generic for my builds. I go with 66 into Ironclad, 49 into Resistant, 14 Thick Skin, 37 Hardy, 32 Elemental Defender, 3 Expert Defender for the light attacks, and then 43 in Quick Recovery to increase your healing furthermore to about 10%. Alright, so now how you play this build. Basically, you want to keep your buffs up, so that's your Rally, your Leeching Strikes, and your Cloak. You want to keep those up on yourself at all times. And for your debuffs, you want to keep Piercing Mark at all times on your target. So, stay buffed, like so. You put Piercing Mark, do a fully charged heavy attack on the back bar to proc our Unfathomable Darkness. Go to the front bar, ambush, or like you can ambush before, like this is your gap loser, whatever. Like once you're up to your target, fully charged heavy attack, mark, bar swap. Then you do a fully charged heavy attack, rending slashes. And then that's your spammable basically. And when you want to go for a huge burst on someone, you make sure they have your ambush debuff on them, like so. And then you make sure they have a soul harvest on them. And then just keep going the heavy attacks rending, heavy attacks rending, heavy attacks rending, and all of your procs will do the damage. If your crows go off, I mean, if your crows stop, you know, attacking, just go back on your back bar with the battle axe and do a light attack to proc them, so they keep dealing damage. They actually do a lot of damage, so make sure they're up. Make sure all of those are up with the piercing mark, and ambush when you want to really kill someone. When you want to do big damage on them, basically. All of this, the poison, the procs, the master weapons, the piercing mark, and the pressure from Major Defile, all of this shit is gonna make you hit so hard, and your survivability is so high already because of this crazy heal that we got. And this sustain, we can dodge, we can kite, we got minor maim on people, we got deep thoughts. Literally this build feels like you're an emperor, so have fun with it, guys. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm gonna wrap this up. I'll see you in another video. Peace.